able to deal with political story, but today we must be there. If you missed it, there is a lot that is coming from ODM's end. And of course, with Winnie coming up with a new GNZ kind of ODM, now Junette and the rest of them are shocked, or rather shaken. So of course today we had an interview. Yesterday evening, an interview was conducted on Junette, and Junette was trying to prove that he's innocent. He did not actually squander the money from ODM. He did not cause the fall of Baba. He was actually indicating he was a student of Baba, and being a student, he learned a lot from Baba Raila. He also indicated that he was a guard during that moment of political situation. He said that even if Baba would not have actually worked with him, he would not be anybody politically, but he would still be somewhere. And I was like, are you trying to prove that you are still going to work even if Baba was not there? So of course, as we kept watching, I was asking myself a lot of questions and decided I have to come here and do my reaction just in case you missed it. So let's go after it and do some reaction. I really appreciate you guys for coming on my live streams. And of course, very soon, once I acquire another gadget, I'll start doing videos because I'll have more space and flexibility. Of course, I plan to acquire another phone which will allow me to record easily on another phone than a computer. And thank you so much for those who are subscribing, liking my videos, watching all the time. It's not easy. It's a journey. Actually, YouTube is a journey, very tough one. Tolerating even just 10 minutes of a video daily, it's not easy, guys. And I used to think that there's a lot of money you make when you do a video and even 2,000 people watch, but I realize it's just some little money, but it's okay. We move with it slowly by slowly. So guys, thank you so much. I don't know. I have to start with Junette's words on Citizen TV. And we just pick a few because it was a long video. He even began to actually cast aside, he tried to cast aside whatever Jay was asking. He was asked on JK Live. As an escapist, Junet tried a lot to blame Kikuyus for Raila's failure, and he talked a lot to defend himself. So let's just listen to some of the parts and pick. Do you believe in what NDINDI NYORO was saying? Because some people actually said that he was simply a treacherous character and we are just waiting for 2027. Others were like, you are Janet Iscarioti. Others called him, he should be truthful instead of cheating. Yeah. So guys, another person was like, oh, politicians actually are like, treat people like diapers. You use it and dump it. Okay. I don't know whether that metaphor really suits us. But anyway, let's go after the interview and see what we can pick from it. But guys, if you come to my live, continue subscribing, liking, and sharing my videos. I really long for your comments, and they really do a lot to me. Otherwise, this is your host, Prissy. Welcome to our channel. We have lessons, we have political reactions, we have also vlogs, and we have social reactions. Let's start with
2 minutes past the hour. Welcome back to Jeff Kanenge live here at Citizen Television on the bench today. Make that an explosive bench. Suna East Member of Parliament, who also happens to be the minority leader in Parliament, Junette Mohammed. Now, he was no doubt, most people know that he was the shadow of former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. You were the political shadow. You were there everywhere Baba was. You were.
Yes, I was.
Politically, business-wise.
No, politically. I was with him everywhere.
Yes.
Because I spent all my political life with him.
Why you?
Yeah, no, he brought me up.
and boom, the network is low. But anyway, I'm coming back to it, and I hope that you will be back soon, even if you've left. It's like you never left. So JK, actually, Jeff asked several questions to Junette, including what Baba means to him. And of course, he said that Baba picked him when he was 24, and he was able to become an MP various times, and later on he became some element in ODM. So you actually agree that he really made him. But somebody said like
If it wasn't for him,
diapers.
you'd be nowhere.
No, I will be somewhere. I will be doing other things. But politically, he was my mentor.
Yeah, but let's face it, there was Orengo, there was Yang Nyong, there were others in his inner circle. Why you?
No, we were working together. We were a team. Not that I was not working with other people. Yeah, we were a team. Everyone was playing a role. Everybody had his own role. He had his own, space to do whatever he wants to do.
Yeah.
Raila was running an institution. He was not running a small thing. So everyone had a role in that institution. So I was playing my role.
So since his death, that means you are principal number one political casualty.
Not really. The casualties could be more because,
But you're number one. There could be more, but you're number one.
No, I don't think so. I have a constituency to serve. That he helped me through his party and through his mentorship to lead for 3 terms. So I still have a lot of work to do.
Your closeness to Raila made you some political enemies. Let's face it.
Many of them. Yeah, when you're close to power, people don't like you. Yeah. Anyone who has been close to powerful people, they're not liked. That I can tell you.
How did you deal with it?
No, he used to defend and protect us. He was.
All right, so Junet came up to state in a statement that when you are close to power, then you have a lot of enemies. I agree with that, but then it depends on exactly what you do. Does it mean that Junet was actually messing with a lot of people? Did he deny opportunity to some people during the moment? Or what exactly did he do that makes him think he became an enemy to many people? And of course, he was not the only one who was close to Raila Odinga. There were so many people, including Babu Owino Sifuna, among others. Yeah, of course, we've seen from different parts of the country, right from coast to the end of Transoya. So does he really mean that all the people who have been close to Raila Odinga were actually having a lot of enemies? That's the question I would like to ask. Maybe you can drop your comment based on what you believe. Do you believe that currently those who are close to Ruto, for example, those who are close to Gachagua, those who are close to Uhuru, and anybody else in power then would actually have enemies out of it? That's something I would want to know, because again, we are political human beings. Any human being is political, and at some point we'll get to be close to people in power. Does that mean that we'll automatically become have enemies, or is it a statement that Junet just posed so that he can prove that those who speak against him are enemies? Let me know from your comments. Anyway, so on JK Live, let's listen more on what Junet said.
Tell me, don't bother with what people are saying. Let's soldier on. Yeah, let's continue with what we are doing. Let's have our eyes on the ball.
Was he aware that there were people trying to block you from him?
Yeah, he was aware. Many times he spoke to me about it. There's even a time he spoke about it publicly. After the election, we had a ceremony at Safari Park Hotel. So he was introducing the people, and then he said, Junet is here, the guy who's blamed for everything about me. My bogeyman is here. The records are there, the video is there. So he knew that I had to take some flags for him. But I had to do that because he was a good leader. Yeah, he led us very well. Extremely well.
Now again, at some point, Junet was asked whether he led to failure of Raila Odinga in the elections.
Social media accounts.
And he said that he was not responsible, but there are people who make people presidents who decided not to have Baba to be a president. How true is this?
All those people are still alive. No one has responded to me. I am willing even to share with them a bench so that we can remind each other how things were to be done. So, so they should respond. They are alive. They are not dead.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about people who have died. The money of the agent was with the people I have mentioned in my statement.
So why is there controversy about the fact that there's some people in your ODM party who say you ate the money?
Yeah, you see, settling political scores. People who are unhappy from the word go my relationship and my closeness with Baba. Now that he's not there, they have an opportunity now to say anything they want to say.
All right, guys. So Junet defended himself, saying that people are talking about him and indicating that he squandered money from ODM just because they are envious of him and they were not happy about his position with Raila Odinga. How true is this? Because he is indicating that people like Sifuna and maybe Babu among others never got an opportunity to talk ill of him openly. And now that Baba is no more, he is an orphaned individual. And of course, he says there are many more. But then I wonder why he's trying to say that with his closeness to Baba for the moment he raised him up to where he is, that people are so envious and they were not happy with his closeness to Baba. No wonder when he died, they attacked him. Do you believe that Junet was really telling us the truth when he said this statement on a JK Live, or was he just trying to divert the narrative that is unveiling out there? Now, let's take on another question he was asked and how he responded. And of course, he mentioned some people here who took that money he was given from ODM to give to the agents. And he indicates that they should come out and respond if they never got it. Is this another narrative we are yet to see? Of course, the forthcoming days. Now, let's listen more.
So we give it to them. Yeah, I even saw this con man called Malala yesterday. Sorry to say that. Who's saying that I used to meet the president before the elections and gave him the agents and such kind of nonsense. Somebody just asked him a question. If we sold the agents to him, why didn't he win his election in Kakamega as a governor if he had the agents? So now it's a time of madness. Look at the ground. You see, and I'm one of the speakers again in every campaign place. Yeah, so when do I have time to sit in an office and concoct a list of agents? I don't know what.
Okay, so
we woke up one morning and we were told there are problems here and there, what, that kind of things. I don't know.
Okay, so who lost Raila the election?
Raila first, the election, you remember, up to today, up to his death, we were saying the servers will be opened. You remember?
Yeah.
And the people who normally make people presidents in Kenya did not want to make Raila president. That's what I believe myself.
Guys. The people who make presidents in Kenya did not want Baba to be the president. That's the statement exactly Junet used. So what does he mean? Because these are very serious matters, by the way. We are not going just to have a Baba. Of course, he's a gone story now. And we have other people on board who are in opposition, like Gachagua and his team and all that. Now, when he says such a statement, it means there is a group of people who are not actually citizens, the voters, but there are other people somewhere. Is it a situation of business people? Is it a gang? What exactly is he meaning when he says there is a group of people who actually make people presidents and they did not want to make Baba the president? They feared, for whatever reason. So he is actually diverting or rather taking the ball of blame from his side and putting it on other people's heads. And exactly who are these? And he told Jeff Koinange is not a kid, he must be knowing those people. I was like, I would wish to know. I was like, why is he keeping it underground, and if he is aware of those who do? And why is it that he's now so keen? He's told us recently that he's no longer going to be outside the leadership. I'll be playing that video soon, so just let me play this, then we'll go on.
Without mentioning who is who. Yeah. The people who made others president in 2007, 2013, 2017 did not want to make Raila president.
Who are those?
If they wanted, they
who are those
them.
people?
You know them, man.
I don't know them.
You know them.
Come on.
You are old. You are not a young man.
I am old.
You are old. You know the people who make people presidents. You who made people president in 2007.
So you're saying they didn't want Raila to be president?
They didn't want Raila to become president.
Why?
I think they were not very comfortable with him, maybe, or something. And they were camouflaging us that they're supporting him. Yeah.
What do you tell people who say that you are an ODM or UDA.
All right, guys. So I want us to go to the video when Junet spoke recently in an event. I think it was Busia and Kakamega. So I just want us to look at the speech. Junet gave a speech recently on Saturday in Busia and Kakamega, and he indicated clearly that they have no way out of government. They are tired of sitting outside the government. They are going to be in government or government, right? And of course, when you look at that statement, he has repetitively said that they are going to be in broad-based connections up to 2027, not earlier. They will not drop out earlier than that. So I want that Junet's speech. I want that speech in Kakamega. I remember when I was watching, he actually spoke in Kakamega and Busia. Yeah, so I want his speech, Junet's speech in Kakamega. And we'll go back and check also in Busia because they were two speeches he gave, right? Yeah, right here.
ODM. ODM. Vijana mko tayari kulinda ground? Vijana mko tayari kusimama na party leader? Vijana mko tayari kusimama na chairperson wa Kakamega? Vijana mko tayari kusimama na KEA? Sasa party leader, sisi tuko na jambo moja ambayo tunataka tukwambie.
Wait, Junet is here.
Lakini kama dispute itakuwa resolve, mtu ni Fernandez. What's the position? What's the position? What's the position? Hello? Hello? Lakini ODM kuna PPDT, kuna High Court. Lakini mimi naongea kulingana na vile kitabu ya chama ilikuwa nasema jana jioni. Ilisema ashinda hiyo dispute ingine isemekane. Hiyo sasa ni mambo, na ilithibitishwa mbele yetu ya kwamba election board ya ODM ilideclare mtu naitwa Fernandez Baraza kama chairman. Chama yetu ya ODM iko imara sana. Tuko na watu hasidi, watu ambaye hawataki vyema kwa chama chetu. Kuna wengi wanataka tukae kwa barabara, wanataka tukae kwa street, wanataka tupigane. Wakisikia ODM imekaribia serikali, wanaanza kupata tumbo joto, wanaanza kuharisha. Si mnawajua hawa? Si unajua hawa? Mimi nataka kusema hivi. Chama ya ODM ni chama ya nidhamu. It's a party of law and order. Na kamati kuu ya chama imekaa, imesema wanataka kufanya mazungumzo na vyama vingine wakianza na chama ya UDA. Sasa wewe ni nani kupinga kamati kuu ya chama? Wewe ni nani? Wewe ni nani hapa Kenya huko na makende kama hiyo? Wewe ni nani? Wewe ni nani unaweza pinga? Mimi naongea na wanaume sio wanawake, niseme nini?
Look at this. How it got ugly. Actually, this man did not even mind his language. He began just speaking, mentioning body parts, and I felt that it's very uncouth of him. In a meeting where men and women are sitting, how do you start to mention private parts and even talk about going to the toilet and something like that? So Junet actually became very, we can say what? Hey, his speech was dirty. He was actually doing verbal diarrhea, and in the process proving that he is strongly going to make sure that now ODM is stuck in the broad-based arrangement. And of course, when you listen to the people he's talking about are like people like Babu Orengo, he's referring to people like Amisi, Osoti, and Sifuna, and maybe Winnie Odinga, among others. Those are the people who have actually always kept a word in arguing against having a collaboration with the government. Do they have a right? Of course they have, because ideologies of that party have always made that party an independent one. But then it seems that Junet and Gladys Wanga, Fernandez, of course people like Mbadi, and among others are turning the twist. And so we are seeing a different lord of ODM that is supportive of the government, always singing UDA songs and losing its slogans. That is why they are talking about Linda Ground, which is almost similar to the slogan of the opposition, United Opposition, Skiza Ground. So they are no longer going with their own slogans that we have known for years. All right. So Junet was asked more questions, and of course, one of them, let's look at the next question he was asked and how he responded.
There was an office here somewhere in Westlands. Leave this thing to us. Leave this thing to us. We've done it in 2017. We've done it in 2013. Leave it to us. We left it to them as we went to abuse people on the field. Oh, when we see who stole fertilizer, nane meiba mahindi, nane mekula ng'ombe. That's what we were doing. Yeah. That was our work. Mwizi ni nani? The same man was sworn in as president.
So the likes of Malala, Sifuna, Hamisi, all these people accusing you. What do you tell them?
You know, I don't want to personalize this debate. Those people...
It's personal right now.
They are entitled to their opinion. Well, but Malala, you know, is a wreck. You know, he wrecked the ANC party. He killed the UDA party. Now he's in some funny Masikio party. You know, that one is a garbage. But the other two are in my party. We will see how to go about it. They are party mechanisms.
All right, guys. So did he just admit that everybody is free for opinion, but he's saying Wanahara? I don't just know what to say, because he said they have the freedom to give their opinion. But at the same time, he comes up and said they are just having verbal diarrhea. All right? So exactly what the hell is he trying to say here? You know, I was taking up this and I was wondering what exactly he's talking about in the entire discussion. Now, at the second part of discussion, Junet came up with so much, okay?
On our side, everyone now assumes that Junet, but have you seen Baba complaining any time? Did you not see him appointing me even as a leader in parliament after the election? That tells you that he knew what happened and he knew who had the money. Actually, after the election, I remember the spokesman of the campaign was Professor Makau Mutua. He directed Professor Makau Mutua to issue a statement on that matter. And Makau issued a statement.
To defend you.
Exonerating me. That had nothing to do with agents.
All right, guys. So Junet came up to indicate something about exoneration, that he was exonerated. Did you just hear that? I don't know. If you had ears, then you heard that, because he was saying he was exonerated by Makau Mutua. And I don't know, because from what we heard about Ida, Mama Ida spoke differently during the funeral of Baba Raila Odinga. She said that in politics, of course, once things are dusted and settled, you don't have to go and settle the past scores. Did he just understand maybe that the future is different? Did he maybe oversee what was going to happen? Is Junet really giving us a different light into the perspective of what? Thank God JKL actually had to invite him in the studio. And of course, I would wish you to drop your comments based on what you now see. Do you think Junet is saying the truth, or is just trying to defend himself? Do you believe that Baba actually trusted that he never squandered any money? No wonder he was picked or given a position even after the elections failed. He said they went to the field, and the rake, home raker, that is Malala, has actually gone around raking more parties. Did he just call the other party a done party, a mediocre? How would you call such a party as that? I believe in a country with democracy, every party is worth its day. They could be coming up slowly, and of course, I don't think that you can call that party as a mediocre party. The other day, it gave a lot of hell to the government, and we saw the government was really struggling a lot, making sure that they are using a lot of money. If it was just a nonsense party, there's no way we could actually have seen the government sweating and using a lot of money, putting its people all over the places to defend the position. And of course, they won some, including Kariobangi. We saw one in Narok and another one in Kisii, not Kisii, right, but Kisa East. So there is a different flow of things right here. And of course, a lot of other areas were blamed for being gluttonous, maybe focused towards food and all that. I don't know. That's a narrative for another day. But let's go on and see what else Junet was asked.
Is he?
All right.
Very sharp.
Is he the man who can implement a deal between UDA and ODM? Is he your guy?
He's the guy who implemented the broad-based one, for your information. He was the chairman of that committee that was being...
What do you mean?
I'm telling you. If anyone has contrary view, let him come here and deny. He was the chairman. Actually, Baba is on record to have said this broad-based thing belongs to Uburu. Yeah. Because he is the one who negotiated, who ran everything, who concocted everything. Yeah. He's that. Look at that.
But you know, he struggles with the management of crowds, huh? He's not his brother.
No, he can't be his brother. He can't be. You know, his brother, was a politician and also a leader on his own rights, and he's done very well. But he will try his best. Crowd management, he can speak to the people. He's loud enough, he's audible. And I think you are judging him too harsh. Yeah.
Why did Junet actually look a bit disturbed when J.K. Love was, when Jeff Koinange was giving the reality about Oburu Odinga? Actually, you might be a very good author, but you might not be a good speaker before the people. Have observed that. Actually, Wole Soyinka once came to Kenyatta University when I was a student, and we wanted to ask some questions to him, and he could not answer. He simply told us that I wrote for you. You understand? So it doesn't mean that when you are a good author, you are always a vocal speaker who can be understood. Now, I also want you to, for those who interacted with the late David Mulwa and the late Francis Imbuga. Francis Imbuga was a very good playwright. But when it came to class, explaining to ideas was a struggle. He was a very heavy-tongued person, and it took him a while to explain things. In fact, when we were learning in some of the units under him, we could actually just struggle to get it. He could answer questions, of course, but he was not as good as the late... Hey, why did I forget the other name of doctor? There was a doctor at KU who was very vocal, and he was also in charge of tradition and all that. Alembi, Ezekiel Alembi. Very vocal, very loud, very clear in his presentations. Now you come to David Mulwa, the late. He was also teaching us something to do with the drama and all that. Of course, he's a very good director, but when it comes to instruction, my goodness, he's not the best, I can say. He was not the very best. But he could actually make you do things when it comes to directing a play and all that. So, I'm telling you, people have, they have abilities in specific ways, and people just don't tap the right things sometimes. People believe that when you're powerful, maybe you are good in everything, which is impossible. God gives us talents that are diverse. And how I wish that people knew that and they could go to the right direction. Now, the other day, of course, we saw Babu defending himself on matters leadership of the party. I want to bring that receipt right here. Babu speaking about leadership in ODM. Yeah, I want us to go to that. So, of course, Babu was there defending a lot and saying that bila babu ni tabu. Baada ya baba ni babu. Na bila babu ni tabu. you know, all that kind of talk. So as one day ago, Babu was noted speaking somewhere, and this is what he had to say. I just want us to check at that.
What do you think about the separate meetings between Uhuru and Odinga?
Between?
The separate meetings between Uhuru and Odinga?
Separate meetings?
Yes.
I think these are family issues and they are also political. They are weighty matters which should be looked into because there is a storm in ODM, and that storm, people must come together. There must be an NBC that will ensure that that storm is solved. That party should be handed over with an immediate effect, and you are looking at the party leader as we speak. Yes, we don't need to disrespect anybody, but it is our time. There's nothing wrong with Moses, but it is Joshua's time.
Yes.
That is it. So it is upon you to decide whether you want the weakest Joshua or the strongest Joshua. Whether you want a Joshua who is Moses' age mate or older than Moses, or a Joshua who is younger than Moses. And that is what I can tell you. This is politics. We will play it as it comes because we are leaders who've been elected in this country. You saw the polls the other day, spoke very well. The polls stated clearly that Babu Owino should be the party leader at 33%, followed by my father, Honorable Dr. Oburu Odinga at 10%, followed by Gladys Wanga at 7%, and then the others shared 1%. So clearly...
All right, guys, so that is exactly what Babu said. And on the other side, Junet is defending. And we saw another guy saying that even at the point when Harun could not do it, they had to place stones so that his hands are held, and prayers went on, and the war was won. Hey, come to think about biblical allusion, the heavy allusion that is used sometimes in politics is just too heavy. So, having listened to the JK live, we have to get to see one thing, and then we go back to the story of today's meeting in ODM.
He was president,
Then
he
we see
participated in
about
electing
it.
Uhuru.
No.
Oh, okay. He's a good man. I thought he shared with you that.
He said he was pressured.
No, there was no pressure. We all met there as NEC members, and he looked very happy. And no, he looked very sad because of the death of Baba, because the Baba's body was arriving that morning. But all of us were there. All of us. All of us. We are one people.
You know,
Don't listen to the noise outside there.
we have to listen to the noise because it's very noisy.
Yeah, I know that noise is for other purpose. We are one people.
Tell me something. You spoke to Baba before he left? Or when's the last time you spoke to Baba before he died?
You know, I spoke to him. We had a meeting at Serena Hotel. You know, we were supposed to do ODM at 20. I think that week that he was leaving. No, the following week. So we met him there, asking him, now we are traveling. We don't know when. No, it was 2 weeks, I think, to go.
I don't want to listen to that anymore.
We will postpone.
I don't just want to listen to this because the hesitation actually talks a lot, you know. The fact that he doesn't have the right dates and all that speaks volumes. So Jeff wanted to know the last words, of course, he had with Baba when he left. And of course, we've already heard him speaking, saying that he told them to remain in broad-based government. On the other side, others say that they were supposed to use their brains. He told them that when he leaves, they have to think about what the party will be. So what is what? And of course, Junet's words proceeded up to part 3. And from this, we just pick 2 parts, then we proceed to today's meeting.
Very soon, you'll see us speaking one language.
Okay, who is the glue that's going to hold this party together?
You know, there's something people don't understand about this party.
Mm-hmm.
The strength of this party is in its structures and organs. It has very strong structures. The Central Committee, the National Executive Council, the National Governing Council, and the NDC. Once thoughts and opinions are processed through those organs, and a decision is made by the majority with the views of the minority, that is the position of the party. Nothing you can do about it. So that is how Raila Baba ran his party. There is no single decision he has taken or he has done without processing through the party, especially the Central Committee, the National Executive Council.
Now, of course, you understand that when he claims so, then it means that his people, once he died, they decided everyone will speak his own language. Because how comes we get to have different people speaking a different tongue every day when we listen to them? It is so clear that everybody is now speaking their own language in ODM party. And how soon are they going to be together? Junet has assured us that they are going to have a meeting. And of course, today there was a meeting in ODM. I want us to get to that and see what they agree.
Should not be taken as the party position. Yeah, that's my opinion. That is, let's talk.
Now, what I don't understand is why these people are coming up. Like you would hear Junet saying his own statements and generalizing. You get Sifuna to say and again give a final point of view. Babu says it, and with a backup, he says it at a final point of view. Orengo does it, he does the same. And anybody else, Gladys Wanga, among others, Osoti spoke the other day. We saw Simba Arat speaking the other day, and all those. Anyway, I want us to get to see the meeting that was held. There was a meeting that was held today, and of course, it might be ongoing. I just want us to get to that and understand what's happening. Then we'll be coming to NDINDI NYORO. Of course, NDINDI NYORO today spoke somewhere, and he spoke a lot of sense. And of course, being one of the politicians we really admire of late, especially in terms of economics, we want to follow closely what he says. So let's go after the ODM meeting, and after that, we might proceed to something else. So here we are. So on Azimio official, let's see what these people have shared just some minutes ago. Where is this?
The United Democratic Alliance, UDA, has today announced that it will convene a special National Governing Council meeting at State House on Monday, with the key agenda item being the ratification of a resolution authorizing the party leader to formally commence structured negotiations with the Orange Democratic Movement Party, ODM. UDA maintains that the talks will move beyond the existing 10-point cooperation framework towards a broader political arrangement targeting the 2027 general election. However, as the anticipated pact gathers momentum, religious leaders in ODM stronghold Homa Bay County are warning that emerging internal leadership wrangles within the party could undermine the party at a critical political moment. NTV's Victor Ngaruya has the details.
That's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I wanted. More details are now emerging about the political courtship between UDA and ODM parties, a relationship that appears to be steadily edging towards a formal pre-2027 coalition agreement likely to be sealed by May 2026. Speaking at the UDA headquarters in Nairobi, senior party officials confirmed that negotiations are ready to begin, describing the process as part of early preparations for ODM to be part of the next government.
Tutaidhinisha yale maazimio ya Baraza Kuu la National Executive Committee ya UDA ambayo imemwidhinisha mkuu wa chama ama kiongozi wa chama His Excellency William Ruto kuanza mawasiliano ama mjadala maalum kwa namna ambazo na chama cha ODM ambapo utaweza kuhakikisha tumejiandaa vilivyo katika uchaguzi unaokuja wa 2027.
This party, the Kenya Kwanza Coalition, is a party that is forming government after next year's elections. But we have invited our colleagues in ODM. Under the broad-based government, we have had a very good working arrangement with them.
The plan planned special NGC meeting will take place on Monday, January 26, 2026 at State House, Nairobi. Chaired by UDA Party Leader President William Ruto, bringing together elected and nominated leaders, including governors, senators, members of the National Assembly, and other representatives. On Wednesday at State House, the Committee on the Implementation of the 10-Point Agenda and the NATCO report made a presentation to the National Steering Committee of the Youth.
All right, so before this meeting, of course, ODM was supposed to meet and resolve their disputes. And of course, I saw something about that meeting. I don't know why it's just sliding away from me. But there was a certain meeting I saw some minutes ago while checking on my channel. So, the crisis that they were supposed to settle so that we have the end of dynasty and also dominance by some members and also individuals giving statements, then coming to have like factions that do not add up. So that's what I was looking at. But if I don't, I will go to check on NDINDI NYORO. Then after that, we can come back to ODM. Annabelle, toka huko. Eh? Na hii rinda umeacha hapa nini na utatumia kesho? Na umejikojolea. Nimesikia tu harufu ya mkojo. Bado najikojolea kwa nguo shule. Na mbona ukipita hapa nimesikia harufu ya mkojo? Wewe jiangalie, acha kupingana kabla uangalie. Nasikia harufu ya mkojo ya nguo yako. Ufue hiyo pia. Alright guys, let's check on this. I'm trying so much to check on this because I didn't want to skip that part before I came to NDINDI NYORO. But meanwhile, let's listen to NDINDI NYORO. Of course, he has a lot of economic advice which can benefit me personally, and at the same time it can benefit politicians. Change that, change it. It is stinking. Unless ulisusuka malazi na ukanidanganya.
Thank you very much. Employed over 1 million engineers in China. Can you just imagine? So these people are Chinese, but the money that grew the company is American. That model of an economy must be adopted here in Kenya and in Africa, so that we also have more money to manage. Now, Minet would be managing all those engineers employed by BYD. That's where you come in now. But if they don't have jobs, then you also don't have a job to do. That is why those things are important when we talk about them holistically. The second point, our financial industry. And I'm talking about every banks, insurance companies, stockbrokers and investment banks, pension managers, fund managers, TAs, everyone involved in anything about money and transactions. It is important that we don't remain traditional. We must also be innovative. And innovation, when you are leading a company in whichever area, is in the processes, but also the product. The process at which we give our products, but also innovating in terms of what kind of products that we are giving. And I want to take most of the time here, because I was talking here with our regulator, and it is just startling. And I was wondering, why do financial companies hire actuaries? They hire economists, they hire CPAs, they hire professionals. Why do we need to do that? By the way, Bonadaniel, why do you need to hire professionals as Minet? Why do you hire them when all your money is in government boards? You don't need anyone. You can actually run Minet with just an accountant, the director, and 2 other people. money you get, you know where it is going. So you don't need anyone even to do any analysis for you. You get money, you just kwanza kuna hii board tunapenda sana inaitwa IP, Infrastructure Board. At it is tax free, it is nice, it is very high yield, very high. Then gentlemen, why can't we fold our bags and go back home today? Hakuna haja ya conference, because out of 100 shillings we have, over 80 is in government boards. I can see the smiles which are sheepish. Those smiles don't seem very honest. That is the area where we have to think. And if there is any other point I'll give, it is only that one. And don't tell me about regulations and laws. That's why I'm here. That's why the regulator is here. Laws in Kenya are versatile, especially a law that is not entrenched in the constitution, like the regulations that guide the financial industry. They are versatile, they are dynamic, and therefore, they are not cast in stone. They are cast in rubber. You can change. They are actually written on a piece of paper with a pencil. You can rub and write what you want as the practitioners, as the professionals, as the companies. And you have seen it in Kenya. Laws are not static. Laws are dynamic, and especially to take care of the industry and growth. There is no way we are going to unlock our potential as the financial industry in Kenya if we are too lazy to invest 8 shillings out of 10 in government boards. We should actually all be civil servants, because you are investing in government instruments. Then all our fund managers should actually have an office in the National Treasury, and CPK is the agent of the national government. Tuwekewe ka ofisi hapo, bodi kiletwa, tunanunulia tu hapo kwa transformer. Unawambia hakuna haja ya kupeleka sokoni, tuko hapa, tugawie mineti hii, this insurance company, this other one, this other one, this other one. Then tunaenda nyumbani, tunagoja yield. Then next year, tunagoja another floating of the boat. We do the same. What I'm trying to say, and I'm sure you bear with me, and I'm saying it in good faith, show me one economy that grew with money you hold when they were investing all that money in government instruments. And even if they do, and I'm not saying we don't do that, they do that when they also give sufficient resources to the growth areas. I'm talking to you as a person, and to you as allow me to call you money managers, because we manage money in whichever way we look at it. So, you as an individual, you go and invest in a board, or you fix money in a bank account, meaning you are being given a static, defined, specific percentage and yield. But there is something else also. You have invested with something that has no growth. Government board has no growth. Any instrument that you are assured of the return has no growth, including rent. When you have a flat and you have a government board, you have a T-bill, you have fixed money in the bank account, what you have done is just to park your money, because there is no growth. When you build new by 7 floors, even if you dance outside there singing, you will never get an 8th floor there. It will always be up to 7th floor. The much you can do is to increase rent, which also the market will pay you, because you are not the only one with a flat. When you are investing in a government instrument, when you put in 100 million or 1 billion shillings of your AUM, assets under management, you put up 1 billion shillings. Whatever you do after the maturity, it is 1 billion shillings. Yes, you have this after 6 months you are paid, but I'm just telling you, there's no growth. And that's why I'm usually a proponent of shares. For this one reason. If I buy shares of a bank when it is a microfinance, like Equity did when it was a housing building society, there is growth. I have bought a cow, which can get a calf, and a calf can get a calf, and a calf, and a calf again, and I will have a herd. Because if you buy Total Kenya today, Total has growth. It can open many stations. It can grow. The people who wake up in the morning to go to Total Kenya, they go there to grow. Yes, to manage what they already have, but imagine they have no seeding. But in a government instrument, just like fixing money, you already have
So is Ndindi Nyoro trying to discourage people from investing in government institutions? And of course, I'm just trying to look at government institutions, and I'm looking at them, some of them which are banks, some of them are corporations and what have you. But he's encouraging people to put in shares and what else? These other private organizations out there. But still, don't they have that ability to collapse? Because we have seen also organizations which have collapsed. But anyway, let me listen to some other parts.
an organization. Yes? Very good. African Invest is a PE fund.
African Invest.
Now, did they have to come to the market to buy shares? Did they? You could remember when Equity grew, when it actually now started being a local bank. Some of you, do you remember a time where or when Heri's Capital invested in Equity Bank? Heri's Capital is also a PE fund. Did they come to the market to buy? They didn't. What I'm trying to say, we all have the money to play that league in this hall. Let's use our might for the benefit of growth of these companies and the growth of our money. And how do we do it? And why do we do it? If you look at even in terms of individuals and companies who have grown, take a person like Peter Biel in the US. He invested $500,000 only. $500,000 in Facebook at the early stage. Okay, he sold along the way. If he never sold his equity, he had a 10% in Meta, Facebook. The current value, as we talk today, 10% of Facebook would be around 150 billion US dollars. Now, I'm provoking ourselves here. Even as you invest in those assured things, which we may have realized they are not as assured as we think, can't we also have a significant amount of money where we are funding growth companies, antelopes? So that even if you fund in 10 and only 5 works, they give you profit more than all the money you have in T-bills and bonds. And don't tell me about law. That's why the regulator is here to tell you laws are dynamic.
So law is a dynamic in Kenya. It can be changed anytime. It's written in pencil. It can be rubbed and rewritten. Hey.
Mike Makura. I was reading the other day the biography of the former CEO of Apple. Mike Makura, at some point, he invested only 250 million. Not 250 million, 250,000 US dollars. By the time Apple was listing, he had a 14% stake. 14. We are talking about a company that has been founded in our generation. If he never sold, he has sold some. He still retains some. That stake could be worth 500 billion US dollars. Even if we invested that money in the best government instrument in the world, making. Last one is emulation. There is something I've seen economists and also companies. Emulation is Me as a small-time shareholder, I don't need to look at global threats. I see what Warren Buffett is saying, what Ray Dalio is saying about global markets. And then I polish up. Nawekelea tu yangu kidogo na paka rangi. So najua dunia inaenda hivi economically. Because they have money more than me to invest in in their, in quotes, R&D, in their formulations of whatever they need to know, the predictions. So some of the money you spend, you don't need actually to spend, you emulate. Even economists do that. For Kenya to grow, we don't just wake up and say, we want a Kenyan model. No. We can look at models that may work, that are close by. Either in a car.
So guys, if you listen to Ndindi Nyoro and closely do an analysis, there is a lot that actually you will gain as an individual and as a company. And I believe he's somebody interesting to listen to all the time. I hope God will keep him safe for us, because it's actually good to learn these things from people who are actually making it. You know, life is so tough and you can't just be a professional. You need to be a business person, an agricultural person and all that. Content creator plus others. So adios. Let's meet in another video.